So, how do you get a job in a field that you're really in love with? How do you get a job that you really want? I recently caught a lot of flack for saying this, but I really do believe that if you are interested in entering a field, you have to be creative in the way that you're going to do that. Because oftentimes you're already in something that isn't what you want to do, or you're trying to get to that place. And the easiest thing that you can leverage is free work. It's really that simple. A lot of people always say not everyone has the opportunity to do work for free. Well, I don't know what you mean, because there are ways to make money besides doing the thing that you want to do. For example, I answered a Quora question yesterday where a young person was asking me, what is the least amount of money? What is the least amount of money someone needs to pay you to do a job? And for me, it was $7.95. And that was because that was my first step to making money so that I become independent, because I knew I needed to make that step in addition to many other steps incrementally until I was going to get to the place that I want to get to. So if things aren't happening immediately, one way that you can accelerate that process is by saying, okay, I'm going to do these intermediate steps that are necessary right now to take care of myself, and I have the willingness to do these other steps that no one's asking me to do, but I'm going to do them anyways because I know they're going to be directly related to me getting the opportunity that I want. Okay, so what does that look like? For some people, it looks like moving back in with their parents and working 2 jobs and coming home and maybe teaching themselves, I don't know, Spanish or French. For other people, it might look like working 1 job that they don't like in an office, teaching themselves programming in the evening, and then eventually moving on to becoming a developer. Or maybe it's someone who is a mother and they need to work 1 job, take care of their child, and go to school at night. I wouldn't wish any of those situations on anyone, but I do think everyday people encounter those all the time. And I don't think it's so insane to say that you're just not going to sleep as much. You're not going to sleep as much. You're not going to get as much time to yourself. And all of these things are sacrifices for what you want. So if you really want the thing that you want, you're going to need to make changes in the way that you're living your life. Not everything is going to be comfortable. In fact, people who often get what they want are very comfortable being uncomfortable. They're willing to take risks, and it's crazy. It's actually really weird. I mean, you look at some of the people who are really incredible entrepreneurs or incredible developers or amazing scientists. A lot of them are really playing at the edge of their abilities. I mean, Nikola Tesla just wasn't eating, period, at all when he was developing alternating current. So it's really cool to give science this romantic idea that it's like some physicist sitting in an ivory tower in some Ivy League school, drinking coffee, working on a grand theory. But the truth is, Albert Einstein was probably on his grind, moving back and forth as a patent clerk on a train before he discovered relativity. It's probably through that process of struggle that he found those little moments of inspiration on a train, and that allowed him to conceptualize relativity, things like that. So I don't think it's crazy to do things for free. I don't think it's crazy to put in extra effort. And that's all I'm saying, is if you really want to get an opportunity, you're going to have to put in extra effort if you don't already have it. Now, suffice it to say, you could have gone to school and studied the right thing and naturally have landed in the career of your dreams. That's totally fine. A lot of people have that. And then there's also this other really weird case where people are just shooting for something they don't really care about, but they're interested in the monetary gains. So before you start doing this stuff that I'm going to say, ask yourself, is this something you want to do, or is it something you want to do because you heard, oh, you can make decent money in that? Because you can make decent money in anything that you're passionate about, that you become an expert in. I mean, it sounds kind of crazy to say it, but it really is true. Just look up Evan Gaddis. Not Evan Gertis, Evan Gaddis. People often get me confused, and eventually I had to go look this guy up. He was a janitor in Texas. Now he plays for, I don't know, some MLB team in Texas. He was a freaking janitor. Now he's a Major League Baseball player. So if people like that can change their situation through work, through practice, through consistency, I mean, what is the real excuse there? I don't think there really is one. Okay, so where is the practical side of this? How can you do it? For I'll have to give my personal profile just because I don't know what's going to happen if you want to be a manager at some company, or you want to be a professor. I don't really know what goes into those things, but in my case, I can actually answer very specific questions. So in the field of development, which is like really a hot thing right now, everyone wants to be a programmer. I really feel like everyone wants to be a programmer that I know. And I think that one way of getting into it is finding local businesses and seeing if you can do something for that business in exchange for your services. So this could work for almost anything related to service. So if you are someone who is good at advertising, or you're someone who's interested in developing websites, or you're someone who is interested in managing, you can leverage your services for some services from another business, and you're not even really doing anything for free at that point. You're just kind of helping someone out in the community. So tip number one, find a local business that actually needs help. Reach out to them and try and help them. I have done things. I've fixed sites for health clubs. I've fixed sites for a car wash. I fixed that. It's weird how almost all these opportunities have come from me almost wanting to complain to the company to say, hey, why is this thing broken? And then I message them and I say, okay, I can fix it. And I'll be honest with you, with the car wash, I did one thing for free, and then they came back and they gave me a $500 job. That's not, I mean, it's not a lot of money, but wow. Like, I went from complaining to actually getting paid for something. That's pretty amazing, I think. So, number one, leverage working with a small business in your community. Try and help them out and leverage mutual interests. So if you help out a health club, see if you can do some training. If you help out a car wash, see if they'll wash your car for free. Things like that. Okay. Other things that you can do. Publish a lot of the activity that you're doing. So if you're someone who wants to teach, you don't really have to necessarily wait to teach in high school or wait to teach in college. There are platforms like Udemy, YouTube. Those are just a few. Udacity, I think you can even become an instructor through Udacity, and you don't have to meet the same requirements that you would for a college or anything like that. You probably are going to need to have your course reviewed. Right now I'm building a course in C programming in Udemy, so I enjoy teaching programming. I like that stuff. I'm going to be developing a course in introductory physics, but I'm not really waiting to be able to teach those things. I just go through Udemy, and it's a wonderful way for you to make a little bit more money as well, because the courses, for me, I'm offering them for free, but other people are charging $10 to $20 a course. So if so many people take it, you make a decent amount of money a month. Maybe in the future I might do that, but for now, just free courses. I'm not good enough, so that's why I'm doing it for free. Another benefit of working for free and trying to do things to help people is very low risk. You don't burn bridges when you do that. Okay, so number one is working with a small business. Number two, you can share your information. You can share your knowledge base through Udemy, through YouTube. The other thing, I would build up a very strong reputation with like professional tools that people use. So if there's a professional forum, if you're an electrical engineer and you go on to like the IEEE website, I would go to those forums and I would make sure that you're able to answer questions in those forums, and you can possibly develop a network in there. And that's a really wonderful way to get a job, is developing a network online. I think it's a really good thing. And so getting in front of a camera, writing a Medium blog, working in the forums of your field, those are going to be great places to meet people who can possibly help you out in your goals. Okay, so those are my pieces of practical advice for how to get into something that you're not already in, how to get a job in something that you're not already in. It's very doable. I wish you the best of luck. And if you like these little pieces of practical advice, I'm always putting out